Alright guys, so we just wrapped up this 2026 Tremor F250. This one came to us out of Tennessee. We got the BDS 7-inch Elite coilover system. This is the 4-link version. We do have it adjusted up at 8 inches instead of 7. I'll go over that here shortly. On the tires, we did a 40 1550 22 Toyo RT Pro, and they are massive. This is the first set of the 40 RT Pros we've done. It's got the 9-3 22 by 12. This one is a -40 offset. It's the model FR19R. It's got the removable ring on it. So it's a gloss black ring. It's got the stainless bolts, and these are the satin brushed deep black. They almost have a gray color, and I don't know if it picks up in here or not, but the color, the brush color on the wheels, not the beadlock ring itself, but the actual barrel, it really matches the color of the truck very closely. It's got that gray purple hue to it. Looks really good together. 9-3 wheels do a lot of different custom wheels, and they'll kind of customize them, the color, the rings, and the center caps, really to your liking. So they're pretty cool to work with if you like off-road style wheels. We did the HTO 2.5 series shocks as the secondary shock. As you see with this kit, it does have a new cross member between the 4-link brackets. It is going to index your rear cross, or your transfer case. Indexing your transfer case is going to slightly clock it so that it lowers your output shaft on your front drive shaft to get a better front drive line angle. I don't know if you can see that in there, but the reason for that is that you've got a rubber boot on your drive shaft, and if you don't clock it at full droop, you'll end up pinching that boot or just flat tearing it. Either way, it's going to end up tearing eventually if it's coming in contact with the ring. And when that happens, you end up having to replace the drive shaft or upgrade to an aftermarket. But by indexing it and limiting your droop to a certain amount so that you don't exceed the travel of the drive shaft, you can keep your stock drive shaft. And with this setup, that is one reason that we did the 7-inch adjusted up to 8. They don't have a 9 yet. They do have the 9 coilovers available. Didn't really want to use the 9 coilovers because I was afraid we didn't have to use a custom drive shaft. I also was afraid that we would run into some low caster issues, along with some binding steering, just because the kit's not designed for that. Doing it this way, we're still within the suspension limitations. We ended up adjusting the coilover up 1/2 inch and then using a 1/2 inch lower spacer that's going to go, I don't even know if you'll be able to see it in here, but it's going to go underneath the coilover mount. And the reason for that, and as opposed to just adjusting the coilover up to the full inch, is so that we can maintain enough droop travel. If you just keep adjusting up to max ride height, you're going to run out of droop. You're not going to be having enough suspension travel for normal driving, especially off-roading. This truck really does just look killer. These 9-3 wheels with this color truck, everything being color matched, the orange coilover resis and the fenders, 4-link bars on it, it's insane. The video and pics do not do it justice. We also added the adjustable trap bar. It's the BDS adjustable trap bar that you can barely see there underneath the drag link. kit does come with your standard BDS stabilizer, but we added the Fox dual stabilizers as well. Since this kit does have the auto adjust headlights and the weight scale system, you're going to have a ride height sensor on your front radius arm factory, which is now going to be on the 4-link bars and on your release springs. And so we have to add BDS has a relocation bracket here that maintains enough travel out of the arm so that it doesn't bind and keeps everything operating like it should. Now, as you can see, we are at almost max, so I don't think that we could go any higher and it still operate like it needs to. They do make a bypass system if you wanted to go taller than this. I believe Ready Lift offers that one. Just an insane looking truck. And they have two different versions on the center cap. So the Tremors have the bigger rear axle, so this is the bigger center cap. They do have a slightly smaller center cap if you have the smaller axle that comes on some of the 250s. It's not a lot smaller, but it's a slightly slimmed down version. They also do custom engraving. On this particular truck, we also, if I can get you in here to see it, we've got the Cognito mini pack on the rear leaf springs, so that does away with the lower overload, gives it a little bit better ride quality. This keeps you from bottoming out on the bottom overload, which is about 1 inch thick, so when it hits that, it's kind of a sudden halt. Also got the Fox 2.5 Elite rear shocks. These are adjustable just like the front coilovers, having the low speed and high speed adjustment. As I mentioned before, they put the adjustment, while that may look like an adjustment knob, that's just where you fill the nitrogen. The adjustment knob is up on top of the reservoir, which is kind of inconvenient. You have to reach up there to make your adjustments. It's not a huge fan of that. So as far as tire clearancing goes, here's a good bit that goes into doing 40s on 12 wides. We can do 40s with just a 5-inch lift, but if you're going to do them on 12 wides, you're going to have to bump up to 8 inches. We still have to move the bumper forward 3/4 of an inch. As you can see, we've got the Tremor valance, still had to trim it slightly. He's got aftermarket inner brackets in here that are going to house the front aftermarket lights. We have to modify that slightly down here and put a slimmer, if I can get you in there, a slimmer button head bolt down here instead of the oversized factory bolt that it usually comes with, just to gain that little bit of clearance. On the back side back here, we have to trim your factory plastics through here. It usually just shoots off all the way across through here. So think of it coming down and across. So we essentially cut it down through here and across through here. We're going to keep all your factory locking tabs that are going to go into the factory bottom, except for just one here. You are the inside fender through here. We're going to roll back about 1.5 inches to gain the clearance for the tire to sweep in and not be able to come in contact with that. So we're going to drill a new hole here that's going to secure your fender liner, and then any of the metal that's exposed before we put the fender liner back, we're going to, even though it's aluminum, so it's not really going to rust, we are going to paint that in some type of bed liner material just to make it that much more resistant to corrosion. And that's about it. Give you one more head on the truck. I think it looks insane. Alright guys, that's it on this one. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, stay tuned for more. A couple other ones we got in here. We got this 26 AT4 getting the 4-inch BDS lift. Oh, I'm sorry, this one's getting the zone kit. We are upgrading to the Fox snap ring coilovers. The 2500 here out of Texas, we're doing a ton of work to it. It's getting a Cognito 9-inch lift, brake upgrade, horn blasters kit, some custom lighting, and soft ride torsion bars, Fox steering stabilizer. It's also going to obviously be the Elka series kit. I think that's it. No, we're also doing the soft ride rear springs as well. On this Super Duty here, we are actually taking off an 8-inch lift, and we're going down to a 5-inch BDS kit. You just wanted something a little bit smaller. Still going pretty big on the tires and wheels. Going to do a 38 1550. One thing I wanted to point out here, just like on the one that I just showed you on the 26 F250. So these trucks are really bad about the Pitman arm coming loose. A lot of people think that the Pitman arm, the nut comes loose. Actually what happens is the Pitman arm rides up the sector shaft of the steering box, and of course once it moves up the shaft, then the nut becomes loose. Ford always specs using a new nut, use Loctite. It's to weigh 375 foot-pounds. What we found is if you're running big enough tires, that works as a leverage, a lot of leverage against that Pitman arm, and it will still happen. S&B's came out with something really cool, so I wanted to show you. You see their nut that they have there that holds that together. That's twice the thickness of the factory Ford nut, and it's chromoly. So instead of 375 foot-pounds, it can hold 500 foot-pounds. The sector shaft is actually rated to 1,000 foot-pounds. That extra 125 foot-pounds is going to pull it up and seat it more so than if you're using a factory Pitman arm nut, just a Ford OE style. And the idea there is to pull it up tighter so that it is already seated fully and it can't ride up on the splines anymore, thereby not coming loose. So if you have one of these Super Duties, you've probably experienced this. It does happen from time to time, and they'll just back off slightly and they have to be retorqued. Kind of a pain to retort because you have to take the track bar bracket off and to access it to get a torque wrench in there. But this is these just came out and they're supposed to eliminate that problem. So I just wanted to take a minute to go over that because we're pretty excited about it. And I'm sure we'll do a build on this one. We've actually already done a build on this one, so if you want more information on this truck, when we first built it, we did a full build on it, and I'm sure we'll do one on this one as well. All right, guys, that's going to be it for now.